Hello. Yeah. Good evening, everyone. No one in the live chat. Okay. Anyone? Please write in the live chat, guys. Hi. Hello. Okay. Great. So, yeah. So, Ritik is there. Good evening, Ritik. What about others? So, guys, yeah. So, hello, Anmol. So, till the time everyone is coming, joining the session, let's revise what we have discussed till now, right? So, we have discussed about our expense tracker app, right? We saw why we need a component. Okay, we used multiple component to render something on the web page, right, everyone? And we saw how I can pass data from parent to child, that is by passing the data as a props, right, everyone? And we also saw how I can pass the data from child to the parent component. That we can achieve, guys. How? Please write in the chat. If I have to pass data from child to parent component, how I can achieve that thing? Till that time, I'm sharing my screen, right? Present, share screen. This thing we have discussed, right, in the yesterday session. How we can pass the data from child to parent component, guys? Please write in the chat. Anyone? Okay. With the help of function, right, everyone? We can create a function in the parent component. Okay. We can pass that function as a props to the child component, and from the child component I can call that function, and in that function I can pass the data, and in the parent component I can fetch the data from the argument, and I can print that data on the console, right, everyone? This we have discussed yesterday. Correct. So here, till now what we have discussed, we have the app, right? The root component. 1 minute. So we have the app component, right, everyone? And from the app component we are calling two component, right? Two child component. One child component is what? Our new expense. Okay. And we have one more component, that is expense item, right, everyone? And after that, in the new expense we have the expense form, right, everyone? We have the expense form, and in the expense item, okay, let's see this one also, that is here. Yeah. So in the app we have what? We have this expenses, right? Inside the expenses we have this expense item. So here we have expenses here, right, everyone? We have expenses, and inside the expenses we have expense item. We have expense item, right, everyone? Expense item and expense item here. And we have the dummy data. We have the dummy data in the form of array in the app component, and what we are doing, we are passing this dummy data from the app component to the expense component with the help of props, right, everyone? And from expenses I am again passing the data to the expense item, right, with the help of props here. And that's why here, if you will see this expense item are getting displayed on the output screen, right, everyone? Yeah. Okay. After that, Let me zoom the coding. It is already zoomed, right, everyone? So here, after that, what we have done, we have the expense form. In the expense form, what we are doing? No visible. What about others, guys? It is still not visible. Can you increase your video quality? Let me check here. Okay, it's visible, right? Because if I will zoom too much, then it is difficult for me to write the code, right? So here, okay. So here, after that, what we have done yesterday, we have created a form in the expense form component, and in the expense form component, after creating the form, we are listening to the on submit event, right? And in the on submit event, we are having one function, right? In that function, we are storing the data in an object, right? We are storing the data in an object. And what I want to pass this object to the app component, right? That is from the child component, I have to pass the data to the app component, that is to the parent component. So what I am doing here, I am I am passing the data, that is this object data, from expense form to the new expense form with the help of props. What I have done, if you will see the code here in the new expense, 1 minute, yeah, if you will see the new expense code here, in the new expense, I am calling the expense form component, right, everyone? And in order to get the data from expense form to new expense form, what I'm doing, I am creating a function here, creating function here, and I am passing this function to the child component with the help of props, right, everyone? Let's see that part also. This one, that is, we have created one function, right? That is save expense data handler, and this function is having one argument, right? And what we are doing, we are printing the data on the console, right, everyone? And here I am creating a prop. The name of the prop is what? On save expense data. And what I am passing here, I am passing the function here, that is save expense data handler. And if I will move to the child component, that is expense form, here you can see on submit handler, okay, on this event, what I'm doing, first I'm creating an object from line number 25 to line number 29, okay. After creating the object, with the help of props, I am calling the function, this function, that is on save expense data. And this function, where I have declared in the parent component. And inside this function, what I am passing the expense data, that is that is the data I'm passing here, right? And after that, what will happen, the moment you will call this function, this data will be saved inside this argument, that is entered expense data. That's why I am getting this printed on the output screen. And after that, what I am doing, I am passing this entered expense data to this on add expense. And where I have declared this on add expense, if you will see, I have declared this on add expense in the app component, right here, on add expense here. This is a prop, and the value of the prop is a function, right? The value of the prop is a function here. So what I'm doing here, from expense form, I'm passing the data to the new expense, and from the new expense, I am passing the data to the app component by following the same step, that is creating a function here, passing the function to the child component. In the child component, I am calling the function, and while calling the function, I am passing the data as an argument. And after that, this app will receive that data, right, everyone? Till this point, anyone has any doubt? This till this point we have discussed, right, in the yesterday session. Okay, Ganesh, related to the certificate and attendance, like we will discuss at the end. Okay, but till this point, everyone is clear? Please write in the chat, yes or no. Okay. And after that, what we have done, we have discussed about the two-way binding also, right? We have discussed about the two-way binding. That is, if I am like writing something in the input field, let's assume car here, okay, and let's assume the amount is 123.54, okay, and let's assume the date is this one, any date here. And the moment I'm clicking on the add expense button, what will happen? This data will get stored inside the object and the form will be cleared here, right? The form will be cleared here. So here you can see 123.12, right? Okay, 0 1. Okay, here. So here you can see the form data is cleared. And how we are achieving that part, guys? Please write in the chat how we are achieving this two-way binding. If you have attended the yesterday session, you can answer that question, right? How we can achieve this two-way binding, guys? Anyone? Okay. So we can achieve this two-way binding with the help of value attribute, right, everyone? So here you can see in the using function in props, Suraj, like using function in props, I am able to achieve the data transfer from the child component to the parent component, right? But here I'm talking about the two-way binding. How I can achieve two-way binding in form with value and make those blank, right? So here Utpal is correct here. He's saying ki, hey, if you will move inside the expense form here, and if you will see this part, what I am doing, I am using one attribute in the input field. The name of the attribute is value here, and what data I am passing to the value, that is entered title, that is the state that is holding the data of the input field. So for title, this entered title state is holding the data. For this amount, this entered amount state is holding the data. And for the date, this entered date is holding the data, right? So the moment you will click on the submit button, what will happen? This function will get called, that is submit handler. And inside the submit handler, at the last, what I am doing, I am updating the state. I am making the state as empty string. So that's why the moment you are clicking on the submit button, the data will get saved and the form will get updated with blank value, that is in the input field, in the amount field, in the title field, and in the date field, right, everyone? So with the help of value attribute, we are able to achieve the two-way binding, right, everyone? So now what I want to, like, the moment I should hit on the add expense button, what I want the expense item, that is the expense data, should be displayed here, right? Should be displayed in this card, right? So let's see that part also. Sir, is min and max compulsory for date input? No, min and max is not compulsory. Okay, it depends on the use case. Okay, here I am like fixing the range. Hey, like the calendar that I am showing is between this and this range. Okay, it is up to you. Okay, it is up to you. According to the use case, you can assign any value to the min and max value. Okay, yeah, correct. So let's move to the next part here. If you will see here, guys, in the app, 1 minute. Yeah, here in the app part, right, in the app.js component, here what I am doing, I am creating a dummy array of object, right? I am creating a dummy array of object here. And after creating this dummy array of object, what I am doing here, here I am passing this data to the expenses, right? I am passing this data to the expenses, and this expenses is taking care of displaying the form, displaying the card on the output screen. That is this one, right? If I will open this part, that is the expenses here. Here, the expenses. Here you can see I am doing what? I am calling this component, expense item component, 3 times. That's why I am getting 3 expense item on the output screen like this. But here what I am doing, I am using static value, right? In real life project, you will get the data, but the data that you are getting, you don't know about the length of the array, right? You don't know what data you are getting. It can be 2 length, it can be 10 length, so you don't know about the data part, right? You know yes, one array is coming, and in that array this object is there, and the item, the key value of this, like the key is this thing, okay? But you don't know about the size of the array. And what I am doing here is like I am calling the expense item component here, right? So here I am fixing the value. Here I am doing the static part, right? So now what I will do, so here I have the props, right? So how I can achieve that this thing, guys? Okay, so here, okay, great. So he's saying ki, hey, you can use map, correct? So here I'm getting the props, right? And the props is what? The array of object, right? So here the props is what? The array of object here at line number 6. So so from app.js we have this expense array of object, and I'm passing this expense array of object to the expenses component. And inside the expenses component, the name of the prop is items, and this item props is holding the array of object, right? If I will move inside the expenses.js, here you can see this part, right? So since I am having 3 object, so what I am doing, I am like creating, I am calling expense item 3 times, and that's why I'm getting 3 card on the output screen. So here what I can do, okay, 1 minute, yeah. So what I can do here, I can, since I am getting the data in the form of array, I can use a loop, right? So I can use a map here. So what map does, guys? Everyone knows what is map in JavaScript? Array.map. Yes or no? Please write in the chat. So guys, here if you will see this part, so map is what? Map is a method of an array. Okay, so if you are declaring, if you are using any array, in that array you have a method with map here, right? And yeah, it is correct, it is used to transform the data. So this map is doing what? It is this map will contain a function. Okay, here I am using an arrow function. Okay, and on each element the function will be called, and it will modify the data. Okay, it will modify the data, it will modify the element, and after modifying this element, it will store the element in the new array, right everyone? It will store the element in the new array. So if I will dry run this code, what will happen? First, the value of x is what? 1 here, right? The value of x is 1, and on 1 what I am doing, I am saying ki hey, 1 into 2, right? So the final result is what? 2. So this 2 will get stored inside the new array. Let's create a new array like this, right? Similarly, it will, like, in the next iteration, this x will hold the next element, that is 4, right? And here 4 into 2 you are doing, right? 4 into 2, so 4 into 2 is what? 8 here, right? So this 8 is now stored inside the new array like this. So what is happening? We are traversing the whole array, we are picking an element, on that element we are performing some task, and after performing that task, whatever value I am getting, I am storing the value inside the array again, right everyone? That is, I am transforming the data. So here also I have the props. In this props I have an array, this one, this items, right? So what I will do here, here, right? So in order to write JavaScript inside, 1 minute, yeah, in order to write JavaScript inside JSX, what you have to use, guys? You have to use curly bracket, right? Inside the curly bracket, like this, yeah, inside the curly bracket you can write JavaScript expression. So here what I will do, I will say ki hey props dot, okay, props dot map, and sorry, props dot items, and this items is what? This item is an array, and on this array I'm getting a method, that is map method. Okay, and on this map method what I will do, I will use a callback function. Okay, so here you can use a regular function also, you can use a arrow function also. Okay, I am using here a arrow function, right? So in the arrow function, what I will do here, I will say ki hey expense, okay, and here this, right? So we have the expense, and since I am printing like I'm having one line in the arrow function, so there is no need to use curly bracket. And here what I will do, I will call the child component. The child component is what here, guys? Expense item. So let's copy this part, that is expense item. Okay, expense item here. And what I will do here now, I will remove this line, and here I have expense dot date, and similarly here I have expense dot title, and here I have expense dot amount, right everyone? Yeah, expense dot amount, like this. So this will be my array. Let's format the document here. Okay, yeah. So let's save the code, right? Let's see whether I'm getting the correct output or not. So till that time, if you have any okay, take an argument, right? Yeah. So basically, Ravi, like yeah, we can use a return also. Okay, so if I have just one line, this arrow function will do what? It will return the one line. Okay, if you have multiple line, then you have to use a return keyword, right? That is, you have to use a curly bracket. Inside this curly bracket, uh ctrl x, okay, inside this curly bracket you have to return the thing that you want. Okay, here I want to return this thing. So like this also you can write the code, right? So here let's save the code. Let's see whether I'm getting the output or not, or I have done some mistake. So here again I'm getting the same output, right? I am able to render the data. I am able to render the data. So guys, now my question here is ki hey, first question is why I am using okay, here why I am using a map. Okay, basically what I am doing, I am traversing the array, right? I am traversing the array and I am using map. Why I can't use for each? For each will also do the same thing, or like I should use map here. Okay, why I'm not using for each? Anyone? Please write in the chat. Okay, anyone? Why I'm not using for each, and instead of for each I am using map here? Please write in the chat. Okay, no one? Can you please describe about context API at end of the session? Shafiq, in this session, it is not possible for me because for context API, I have to set the base, right? I have to take a use case, and in that use case, I have to like discuss the context API. Okay, it is not for 10 to 15 minutes. Like I can discuss the context API part. Okay, but I will give you a gist of that part. Okay, if I have the time left, I will give you the gist of the part. Okay, map will return new array. Okay, yeah. So what will happen if it will return the new array? So here, guys, if you will see this portion, this portion will give me new array, right? And this array will be what? Array of component. That is component expense item, comma expense item, comma dot dot dot, right? So here this part will give me this array here, that is array of component. And JSX has a power to take this array and inside this array read the component. Okay, JSX has the power of this thing. JSX has the power. JSX बोलता है कि अगर you are giving me the array of component, I will take that array of component and I will render, I will traverse through the whole component. Okay, that's why I'm using map here. And if I will use for each, what will happen? This for each will just traverse. Okay, this for each will just traverse. And when it will traverse, what will happen? For the first here. So if I'm using for each here, and I'm saying ki here dot items for each, and inside the for each you are saying here you are having x, right? And here, and you are having a component, right? Let's assume component is comp, okay, like this. And let's assume in the item you are having three element in the array. You are having three element in the array. What will happen when you are using the for each? Okay, the moment you are using the for each, it will let's assume you have array 2 3 4. Okay, you have a 2 3 4, and what will happen? It will first point to this 2. Okay, it will take the data 2, and whatever operation you are doing here, it will do that operation. And here what will happen? It will call the component part. Okay, it will call the component part. It will not render the whole array. It will not render the whole array. That's why for each is a not a solution to for each is not a solution to print or to show the items on the UI. Okay, you have to use map here. Everyone is clear why I'm not using for each and why I'm using map here? Correct, correct. Tony is correct here. So about the certification, you will get at the end. Okay. So now my next question is like this one. Okay, let's see the console also. So if I will go to the console here, guys, I am getting one error. You can see this error, right? Each child in a list should have a unique key prop. Why I am getting this error? Anyone? Okay, and after the session, the link will be there. From the link, if your attendance is more than 80% or 70%, the certificate will get generated. Okay. So here, like Anand, till that point, focus on the session. Okay. So if you are if you are able to answer the this question, then I will give you a certificate. Okay. Please give me the mail. I will send you a two certificate. Okay. So the question here is why it is giving this error. Okay, because I am getting the output, right? I am able to render the items, that is expense item, on the card. So why I am getting this output? Like why I am getting this error, this warning? Map required. Why map required? Anyone? Anam, I am expecting answer from you because you want the certificate, right? Correct. Tony is like, yeah, to identify each item in the array, we need key. Okay, let's see that part also, right? Let's see that part also. So here, guys, uh, now, okay, so we have this error, right? So, okay, before moving to this error, we will discuss about this error, okay, in a minute. Let's first, the moment I'm clicking on the add expense button, let's first add the item in the card. Okay, let's first add the item in the card. So here you can see if I will write something here, right, and amount 23.01. Okay, and let's assume the date is this one. So the moment I'm hitting on the add expense button, still I'm not able to get the card on the expense item card on the this UI, right? So let's try to add that part also. So here So here I am able to render the data, the array data, with the help of map. Okay. So now let's move to the app.js, right? App.js. So here I have the data, right? Here I have the data, that is this data here. Okay. What I will do now, guys? Okay. Yeah, this one, right? So guys, can you tell me how I should add this data to the card? So here you can see, right, in the add expense handler, yesterday we have discussed कि this expense is having the form data, right? This expense is having the form data. If you will see on the output screen also, here, right? So at last you can see this part, right? I am getting the form data, that is input title, and I am getting some amount, and I am getting the date also, right? So here inside the app component, I am getting this data, right, in the expense variable. So now what I want to add this data, expense data, to the array, right? But here, since the array is a normal array, right? This is a normal array. This is a normal data. Should I add the data here or should I modify this part? Anyone? Should I store this dummy information inside a normal variable or inside a state? Please write in the chat. Okay, please write in the chat. So okay, so let's discuss that part also. So what I will do, normal variable. Why, Sai, you are saying normal variable? So the moment, if you are saying ki, hey, normal variable, what you will do here, you will say ki, hey, expense, right? Expense dot, you will add the data, that is you will push the expense, this data here you will push, right? You have the expenses, and to this expenses array you will push the object, that is expense here. So the moment you will perform this operation, what will happen? It will not render the page again. Okay, it will not re-execute the component again. And if it is not re-executing the component, it will not show the data, show the card on the UI here. So we will use a state here, right? We will use a state here. And what I will do first, let's take this variable, let's this array here, okay? And let's declare this array above the function. Okay, let's make this dummy data global. So here, dummy data. Okay, this is my dummy data, and what I will do, I will create a use state. And in order to create a use state, what you have to do, first you have to import, right? Import. And what import you have to do, you have to do named import, that is use state like this. Okay, right? And after doing this part, what you will do here, inside the app function, you will register the use state, right? You will register the use state, that is you have the expenses. Okay, you have the expenses, comma, set expenses is equal to use state. And now what you will do, you will the initial value will be what? It will be the dummy data, right? Let's copy this dummy data and let's paste the dummy data here, right, everyone? And after doing this stuff, what I will do, inside the add expense handler, the moment this add expense handler will be called, that means I am getting a new data from the form. Okay, and that new data, that object is stored inside the variable expense, right, everyone? And now what I will do, guys, okay, I will call this set expenses, right? I will call this set expenses function, and inside this function, what I will do, either I can write like this ki, hey, set expenses, and here I am having one new object, and I will copy the remaining object. In order to copy the remaining object, I will use a spread operator, right, everyone? Expenses here. Yeah, yeah. So let's save the code. Let's see what output I am getting, whether I'm getting the correct output or not, right? So yes, spread operator, make it easy. Also, we can use, yeah, correct. So let's see that part. So let's try to create a new expense item, house. Okay, let's try to house here 223.01, and let's give the date as 15, right? Let's see. So here, if you will see, okay. So guys, 23, why I'm getting this output? There is a car insurance, and here, if you will see, house, right? House is getting added. So house, okay. Let's see what mistake I have done here. Can you guys tell me what mistake I have done here? Anyone? Okay, please write in the chat. So we have this expense and we have this set expense. We are setting the dummy data, right? And we have this expense. In this expense, what I am doing, I am calling this function, and this is the okay. This is the correct, right? Set expenses. So inside set expenses, okay, here what mistake I am doing, guys? Please write in the chat. Inside the set expenses, what mistake I am doing here? Okay. So expense is correct, set expense is correct here, right? So basically, is shouldn't be expenses. Okay, it is expense, and we are destructuring that part, that is expenses. So not expense. So basically, in the expense, I am having the object, right? So here I am writing expense, and this part you are saying not expenses here. So basically, okay. It is correct, right? And this one inside app. So let's see. So we have the dummy data. Okay, we are having the dummy data. We are creating a set state here. And in the set state, what we are doing, we are saying, hey, expenses. And we are having set expenses here. And after that, the moment this add expense handler will be called, we are getting this parameter, that is expense. Okay, yeah, we will go like Tony, like, yeah, we will come to this part also, but why this thing is giving me as error? Okay, so we are having the expense here, and I am destructuring the expenses here, right? And the expenses is what? The error. Okay, let's see this also, that is previous expense. And if I will do like this, that is previous expense is equal to this one, and here I have previous expenses, right? Previous expense here. Let's save the code. Let's see now. Okay, so basically, let's try to add house again, and the amount is 1 2, okay, 11.1, and the date is, let's assume this one, anything. So let's see, and let's try to come, okay, remove this part also. So add expense. Okay, here it will be 0.1. Okay, yeah. So I'm getting car insurance 2 times, right? So what mistake I have done? Let's see that part also. Let's move to the expense item, not in the expense item, where I'm creating the form. In the expense form here, okay. Let's give the ID also, right? Let's see, because of the ID it is giving the error or what? ID math dot random, okay, and it will set the ID, right? Let's see. Okay, Naveen, no issue. Uh, let's see again. So HHH amount is 123.01, and let's assume the date is anything, and add expense. So again, I'm getting car insurance 3 times. I'm getting car insurance 3 times. Um, Guys, what mistake I'm doing? Like, so we are having the, okay, so the mistake we are doing here itself, right? it should get added. We have id is equal to 3. Okay, and we are saying hey previous expense, and we are having the expense here. And let's see, please write in the chat what mistake I am doing, guys, like till that time. Let's see. Okay, here expense form. Okay, expense form.js is there, and here you are setting the title, so the title is correct. So inside expense item I am doing any mistake. Expense item, let's see the expense item also. Okay, yeah, okay, let's see that part. Yeah, okay, I got the point. Yeah, like I forgot to comment that part or what. Okay, yeah, so basically inside the expense.js, here I have commented this thing, and here I have the map, and let's try to console this map also. Props inside. Okay, inside expenses, and we are having what? We are having the props dot items, right? We are having props dot items here. Previous expense dot expense. Okay, so let's do that part also. So basically what I have done here, so previous expense I am getting, and to the previous expense, so we are having the expense. No. Like this previous expense is the array, right? So I can't do that thing, right? So we have to destructure the array. So we have to spread the array, and we have to add the new value, right? Hello, sir. Sometime use Hindi language. Okay, Omkar. So let's see. Uh, Here, and let's try to refresh the page, right? Clear the console. Add a house again. Amount 123.01. Okay, so we are getting the data that is inside expense. We are getting the correct data, right? That is house. We are getting the TV. We are getting the uh, okay. We are getting the bike also, and we are getting the car insurance also, right? But after that, okay, so that means we have done mistake in the map, right? So till this point, we are getting the correct data, that is inside the expense.js. Here we are getting the correct data, right? After that, what we are doing, we are saying ki, hey, props.items.map and expense item data is equal to this one. Okay, title is this one, and okay, let's define the key also. Key is equal to, let's see, because of the key I'm getting the mistake or what. Key is equal to expense dot what we have for the key part. Okay, for the key part we are having the id, right? Expense dot id, and in the expense form, yeah, expense dot id. So let's give the key as expense dot id here. Okay, let's save the code. Let's see. So basically we are getting the correct data, but after this point something went wrong, right? Let's see that part also. So let's here this one amount is 123.02, and the date is this thing, and here add expense. Okay, 01. So in the inside expense we are getting the data, and after that, yeah, because of the key, right? So here because of the key we are getting the error. Okay, but it should not give me the error, right? Why it is okay, it is giving me the error. Okay, I got the point. So guys, we are getting the error because of the key, right? So let's see why I'm getting the error because of the key part, right? So let's remove this key, and here let's save the code, right? If I am saving the code here and I have removed the key, right? And let's open the developer tool. Inside the developer tool, let's open this item here, right? This item parts, let's open. And what I will do now, here let's add a new data, right? So let's refresh the code, and here what I will do, inside the title, here inside the title, and let's hover to this part, right? Let's hover to the div, and inside the div we are having what? Let's open the div here. We are having the expenses. Inside the expenses we are having this expense item, right everyone? So here, 1 minute. Yeah, yeah. So this part, and we are having what? We are having here. Okay, let's do here, right? So here you can see, guys, since we are having three element, right everyone, we are having three card, that is TV, bike and card. So that's why here you can see in the expenses div we are having three expense item, right? We are having three expense item here. Let's try to add some item here. Okay, that is let's try to add house. Okay, house here. Okay, yeah. And after that 123.01, and let's try to add some date here, right? So guys, the moment I will hit on the add expense button, try to see this element wala part, right? Try to see this div element, this expense item. Okay, try to see this part. So here let's add. So guys, if you can see here, this div is highlighted, right? This div is highlighted and it's get added at the last, right everyone? Yes or no? So everyone is clear? So the moment जैसे ही मैंने add expense पे click किया, right everyone? So यहाँ पर एक div add हो गया and यहाँ पर highlight हो गया, right? That div again, let's try to add one more element, right? So let's try to add anything. Let's try to add gem, right? Okay, let's try to add the amount 1234.01. Okay, and let's try to add the date also. So again notice this part, right? The moment I will hit on the add expense button, यहाँ पर in the element part one more div will get added and it will get highlighted, right? See this part. Yeah, everyone is clear to this point? Yes or no? Okay, and if you will see the result, I am getting some random output here, right? I am getting some random output here, right? But here you have noticed this highlighted part. Yes or no? Please write in the chat. Okay, if yes, what will happen here, guys? Let's open this part also. Okay, let's open this part also. So what I have done, I have opened one of the expense item, and in this expense item, if you will see the description here, the description is what? TV, right? Here the description is what? TV. And what we have noticed, the moment I am adding any element, the moment I am adding any item, what is happening? The div is getting added at the last, right? जो div है मेरा last में add हो रहा है, और जो div add हो रहा है, that div is getting highlighted. Okay, all the divs are not getting highlighted, only the div that is added at the last is getting highlighted, right everyone? So let's try to add one more thing. Okay, and this time what I have done, in the expense item, the first expense item, I am getting the h1 as TV here. Okay, I am getting the description as TV here. Okay, let's try to add this part, right? So let's try to add anything, hotel. Okay, and 224.01, and let's try to add this part also, that is date. So if I will add this part, again notice the element tag. Okay, element part. So here here it is saying here you have to take some point value. So let's see. So if you can notice, this time क्या हुआ guys? This time क्या हुआ? In the first div that is having the description as TV. Okay, here itself it is getting highlighted, right everyone? Here itself it is getting highlighted. So we have noticed two things till this point. The first thing is what? Whenever a new div is getting added, whenever some modification is getting done, this div, this element is getting highlighted in the element element tab, right everyone? This is the first point I have noticed. And the second point I have noticed is what? The moment I am adding any new item, new expense item, what is happening, it is adding at the last. जो div है मेरा वो last में add हो रहा है. but अगर div last में add हो रहा है और we are saying कि hey, the moment you are adding something, then only your div should get highlighted. But यहाँ पर क्या हुआ guys? यहाँ पर हमारा div क्यों highlight हो गया? Okay, let's understand that part. Okay, so here we are having let's assume we are having one array, and the element in the array is 1 2 3 4. Okay, and what I am doing, I am traversing through the array with the help of a map, and let's assume this is x. And what we are doing here, we are saying ki hey, component, and let's assume the prop is what? Val is equal to, okay, it is equal to x here. So we are doing this part here, right? This one. So guys, what will happen here? First, 1 2 3 4, that is 4 div will get created like this, right? For this div will get created like this, and here we have 1. Okay, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4 here, right? So like this. In the element window, like this, we will get the element. Okay, after that, let's assume you have one button, and on the click of the button, what you are doing, you are adding one more item to this item element, to this item array. You are adding one more element to this item array. So guys, होगा क्या? यहाँ पर the moment you are clicking on this button, okay, जैसे ही ये moment आप click करोगे, यहाँ पर on click करोगे, then since यहाँ पर we have not used any key, so my React will say कि hey, since you are not using any key, I will take this array, and since I am not getting any point of identification here, यहाँ पर मुझे कुछ unique value नहीं मिल रही है, okay, React will say कि hey, I am getting an array and I am getting a length. Okay, I am getting an array and I am getting a length. So it will compare your previous array and the new array. Okay, it will compare your previous array and the new array, and in the new array what you are doing, you are adding one extra element, right? You are adding one extra element. So my React will do what? It will take this extra element, it will add this extra element at the last. What it will do? It will add div here at the last. Okay, that is 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, like this. Okay, but now the main point is what? If you will see my code, here in the uh, app.js, right? In the app.js, what I am doing here, guys, I am adding the element at the start, not at the end, right? I am first adding the element at the top, and after that I am taking all the previous element value from the array, right everyone? So here also, so पहले React क्या करेगा guys? First React will say कि hey, I will add this element at the last. Okay, that's why the moment when we are hitting on the button, our div is getting added at the last, right? And after that it will rearrange the order. It will say कि hey, since the order is not matching, तो आपने क्या किया? आपको 5 ऐड करना था, and you have added 5 at the start, like this. Okay, like this. And हमारे React ने क्या किया? React has added the div at the last. Okay, so here we will get the 5. After that React will say कि hey, now I will arrange the element in the order. That is, this 5 will come at the start. Okay, and all these elements will go down like this, 1 2 3 4, right everyone? 1 2 3 4. That's why जब आप बटन पे क्लिक कर रहे थे, the moment you are clicking on the button, two thing is happening, right? The first thing is what? One div is getting added at the end, and the second thing is what? And the moment it is getting added at the end, it is getting highlighted, right? And the second thing is what is happening? All the remaining div, for all the remaining div, okay, the element is also getting highlighted. Here also it is getting highlighted, here also it is getting highlighted. So हमारा React क्या कर रहा था? पहले div को add कर रहा था. After adding the div, it is saying कि हे हमारा array तो ये था 1 2 3 4 and 5 here, right? And what React is doing, it is adding 5 at the last. So my React will say कि hey, since I have to now arrange the data, so I will arrange the data also. So जब ये दोनों काम कर रहा है, when my React is doing these two things, at that time there is a chance of error. Okay, जो मुझे अभी error दिखा ना, right guys? If you will see this part, if you will see my UI part here, you can see I am getting the error, right? Why I am getting the error? Because यहाँ पर हम लोग जो data show कर रहे हैं, the data that we are showing here is based on the state value, right everyone? And since यहाँ पर React के पास कोई identification है नहीं कि कौन सा div किस कौन सा एलिमेंट किस div का पार्ट है, so उसकी वजह से we are getting some random value here. This is the first point. The second point is what? If you will see this thing here, okay, so here if you will see, first it is adding the div and after that it is rendering the whole div. Okay, पहले ये add कर रहा है div को and after that it is rendering the whole div, right everyone? So यहाँ पर performance की भी issue आएगा. So there will be performance degradation, right? Performance issue also. Because why performance issue? Because we have to just add one element, right? But what React is doing, if I'm not passing key value, what React is doing, it is adding the div and after that it is changing the value. So first thing is what? We can get error, we can get some random behavior, and the second thing is what? Performance issue. Because React has to go through all the div and change the data inside the div. Everyone is getting the point why I am getting this error and what is the use of, like why it is necessary to use key when you are rendering the dynamic data using map, using more bandwidth. Yeah. Okay, guys, idea is clear, right? Yes or no? Please write in the chat if it is clear. TV is highlighted. Yeah. Anyone like was not able to understand this part? This is a very important part, guys. Okay. So it is clear, right? So we have to use a key here, right? That's why it is important to use a key. That's why we are getting a warning from the browser ki, hey, please use a key, right? So this is the first part. Okay, that is I have to use a key here, and index.js, that is inside expense.js, we have to use a key attribute. Okay, key, and here the value of the key is what? Expense dot id, right everyone? And the key should be unique here, right? Key should be unique here. So now let's try to understand, let's try to conclude everything, right? So what happens here, guys? We have two parts, right? We have two things. That is, first is what? We have React, and the second thing is what? React DOM. Okay, so we have two people. React is saying ki, hey, I will manage the component. Component means it will manage the state, it will manage the prop, it will manage the data transfer from child to parent, okay, and parent to child prop. It will manage the state, that is, it will reserve the value of the state inside the memory, okay, reserve the value. It will the moment you are updating the state, it will re-execute the component, re-evaluate the component here, right? And it will like manage all the component part. Okay, there are a lot of things in the component. Okay, so React will manage that thing. Okay, React will say ki, hey, मुझे यूआई से कुछ लेना देना नहीं है, आई डोंट हैव टू लाइक, मेरा कोई यूआई से रिलेशन ही नहीं है, राइट? And what, so here inside React, what happens guys, you have a virtual DOM. Okay, you have a virtual DOM. So virtual DOM क्या होता है guys? Virtual DOM is a copy of real DOM. Real DOM क्या होता है? Whatever thing you are seeing here, okay, this thing, that is the UI. जो UI यहाँ पर डिस्प्ले हो रहा है ना, यहाँ पर जो UI डिस्प्ले हो रहा है, और ये आप देख रहे हो ना एलिमेंट, in the element you are getting the HTML thing, right? You are getting all the HTML part. So this HTML will be converted to the DOM tree, right? That is inside the DOM tree. What we have the HTML. Inside HTML we are having head. Inside head we are having the title part, and we have the body. Inside body we have the div, right? So like that a DOM tree will get created. Okay, so here what React will do, React will say ki, hey real DOM, I will take your copy, I will take a copy of the original DOM. Okay, and now what I will do, what virtual DOM will do is like, it will say ki, hey I have the previous state. Okay, the moment you are changing the state value, the moment you are changing the state value, what will happen? Component re-evaluate. Okay, component re-evaluate here, right? So here for the previous state we are having the DOM tree, and for the current state we are having the DOM tree. Okay, we are having the DOM tree. So my React will do the comparison, my React will do the comparison. Okay, and after comparing, like whatever extra element you are adding, whatever extra element you are adding, it will take that difference, it will take that extra element, and it will just, let's assume you are adding p here. Okay, it will take this p and it will just say ki, hey React DOM, hey React DOM, please take this difference, and please take this difference. React DOM will take this difference and it will add this difference to the real DOM. It will add this p to the real DOM without re-rendering the whole DOM tree. It will just add a particular element to the DOM tree, and with the help of this part, what we are able to achieve, we are able to achieve the performance part, right? We are able to get the high performance. Let's assume you are having one h, and here you are saying hi, right? You are having one h1 tag and you are saying hi, and on the state update, on the state update, what you are doing, you are adding one more thing, that is paragraph. Let's assume on the state update, what you are doing here, you are having the h1, that is hi here, and you are having the paragraph also, right? Paragraph is what? Hi para, right? Like this. So guys, जब this is state, like the previous state value, previous state DOM tree, and this is updated DOM tree, right? This is updated state. So here first virtual DOM will get created, that is this h1 will be there in the virtual DOM, right? And after the update, what will happen, we are having this part, and what is the difference between this and this? We are adding extra element, that is p element. So my real DOM, sorry, my React will take this p element, and it will and it gives this p element to the React DOM. Okay, it will take the difference, it will give the difference to the React DOM, and ये जो React DOM है guys, ये real DOM के पास जाएगा, and real DOM से बोलेगा कि hey please take this p and please add the p, please add the p. Okay, that's why guys, the moment I am like adding something, the moment I am adding add expense here, a new div is getting added. That's why if you will see, the whole div is not getting highlighted. Okay, a specific part is getting highlighted because of this reason, because of the virtual DOM reason. It is not rendering the whole DOM tree, it is just rendering a part where I have to add that element, right? Everyone, please write in the chat if it is clear. Till that point I am discussing the attendance and the certificate part, guys. Okay, if you have any issue, please write in the chat. So here, in order to get the certificate, you have to open this link. Okay, after the session, open this link, and From here you can download the certificate. Okay, you will get the certificate download option, and from here you can download the certificate. Okay, you will get a link here, right? After the session you will get a link, and from here you can download the certificate. After that, if you have to mark the attendance, what you can do, click on the attendance part, give the rating if you are liking the session. And if you are interested in our 6-month Let's Upgrade program, we are having two programs that is going on currently. That is our data science program and our web development program. If I will open on one of the link, you can see the USP of the program. That is the 100% live session will be there. Okay, 15 industry level project will be done. Okay, you will get 100% placement assistance support from our side. And after that, you will get mentorship guidance, you will get doubt part, and you will get the, like everything, you will get the mentorship session from our side. And yeah, the recorded session you will get, apart from the live session you will get the recorded session. And here you can see the rating, right? And if you will scroll down here you can see our trainer also, that is having more than 6 to 7 years of experience they are having. Okay, they will share you the experience there ki, hey, how we can work on a big project, how we can okay, how we can like structure our code, how we can structure our project. And like what are the, like everyone can code, right? But in the good way, in a proper way. And you can say ki, hey, with best time complexity, if you are coding, then you are a good coder, right? With less space optimization, right? So if you are doing that part, then you are a good coder here, right? So here we are having the experience, and they will guide you to the full stack development program and the data science program. And in order to get the, like if you are interested in our program, you can download the curriculum from here, right? So apart from that, here you can see what all project we are building in our full stack program. And you can see the language that we are going to learn, that is React, GitHub SAS, Git terminal. And we are having MySQL also, Node.js also. And apart from that, we are having the session on the data structure also, right everyone, where you are going through the whole data structure. Okay, so here you can see the people that are getting, like that get placed here from our side. That is for like more than 5 lakh per annum package here. And you can see one of them got 25 lakh per annum package also. Okay, and if you are interested in the course, you can mail us on support@letsupgrade.in. From there you will get the overall idea about the program that we are going through, and you will get every details from there, right? And apart from that, about the certificate I have told you, and about the about this project, you can find the resource file from here. And apart from this, we are having here, right, we are having this discount also that is going on right now. And if you will open this link here, you will see the discount, right? You can avail this discount by clicking on the coupon code, and from there you can get the discount. Okay, it is not opening, let's see why. Okay, so from here you can go through the link. Okay, you can go through the link, you can open the web page, and from there you can avail the discount also, right? uh Annum. Okay, it is like you will get the certificate after the session. Okay, after the end of the class you will get the certificate, right? Yeah, so this is all for today's session, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the boot camp. Okay, please like the video. If you have any comment, if you have any feedback, please write in the comment also, right? How you like this, Athav, this deal is for Anam, but he is not able to answer the question. That is the key one. So he will, like, I will not mail the certificate to him, right? Yeah, correct. Utpal is correct. And like certificate is like a byproduct. If you have the correct skills, so they will see your skills, right? Not the certificate. Okay. So focus on the skills part, everyone, right? You will get a certificate from anywhere, right? From anywhere you will get a certificate. But if you are not having the proper skills, then there is no use of certificate. Okay, so in order to get the certificate, after the session you will get the link in the certificate link section. Okay, so download the certificate from there. So this is all for today's session, guys. Hope you have enjoyed the session. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.